Welcome to the race briefing for the JD Duathlon series round at Corsair Bay. For those that have not been to Corsair Bay, it is in the Littleton Harbour, a couple of kilometres along the road from the Littleton Tunnel. There is some parking at the venue in the lower car park. If you cannot get a park in this car park, please do not park on the bike course. Here you can see the order of events and the schedule. The reason we have an asterisk next to the youth category is we strongly advise that youth athletes have ridden on the course before. It is very hilly and they need to be competent and confident they can complete the bike course. Also to note, the kids race at this event is a run only event, so that's the kids 5 to 9 year olds is run only. Special thanks to Triathlon Canterbury. Without them, these events simply would not happen. Also, the Four Winds Foundation, which assist with our traffic management and venue hire costs. Some key rules you need to be aware of. There is no drafting on the bike. That means you need to leave 10 metres between yourself and the rider in front of you. All the main rules are listed in the race document that you can find on the website, but main ones are helmets need to be on your head and fastened whenever you're touching your bike. As far as mounting and dismounting your bike, you do not get on your bike until you pass over the mount line. When you're coming off the bike, you need to be off your bike before the dismount line. Laps, you need to be responsible for counting your own laps, and with this event we only do manual timing, which means you get a finish time only. Your race number is to be worn on the front. You can either have it pinned to your top or you can have it attached to a race belt. Please remember that you will keep the same number, the same physical number on that piece of paper for all three events if you are doing the following races. Some other important points about the race. When you're out on the bike course, please only pass on the right and keep as far left as you can at all times. If you have any medical issues, we will have a medic that will be floating around the registration area. No portable music devices such as iPods or any earphones can be worn during the event at any stage. If you are in a team, the runner wears your race number. The tag is done in the transition area with the cyclist standing next to their bike, which will be ranked. You simply tag hands and the cyclist returns out onto the bike course, and likewise when the cyclist comes in, the runner is waiting where the cyclist will re-rack their bike. Again, tag hands and away you go on your next run leg. The distances at Corsair Bay for the open race is 2 laps on the run, starting down on the beach, a straight out and back bike ride, and 2 laps on the second run. For the youth, junior and novice, 1 lap of the run course. The bike is a shortened out and back, and then 1 lap on the second run. And the 5 to 9 year olds will be simply doing a run, which is 2 laps, and then finishing at the same location as the other events. The start line for all races, including the kids race, is down by the beach between the 2 cones that you can see in the picture above, and then proceeds along the track towards Littleton. The run course, after starting down on the beach, follows the track that runs towards Littleton and then brings you up onto Park Terrace through the gate. At Park Terrace you turn left back towards Corsair Bay, staying on the footpath. You cannot run on the road. When you get back to Corsair Bay, you turn left and run down the hill and carry on for your second lap or turn into transition. For the second laps of the run and the second run off the bike, you do not go down all the way to the beach. You veer left at the lower car park and join onto the track. Onto the bike, where you'll be greeted with a very challenging course. A reminder, the roads are not closed. You must keep left and obey the road rules at all time. Cautions on this bike course is at the start of the ride. It's obviously very steep, so you want to be in your bottom gear to get out of the transition area. Please give way when you are turning left out of the access road from Corsair Bay, or looking out for traffic. Also giving way to traffic when you're making your turnaround point either at the bottom of Dyer's Pass or at the Wheatsheaf Tavern. Likewise, when you're making any right-hand turns on the course for the return leg at Dyer's Pass, and also when you are turning into Corsair Bay, you need to be ready to give way to traffic. Please be careful and sensible out there on the bike. There are some fast and technical downhills, especially outbound into Allendale and returning back past the Governor's Bay pub, where there may be a little bit of traffic build-up. So just be sensible out there. In terms of the course, for the long course, it's 28 kilometres out towards the Wheatsheaf Tavern and back. You walk or run your bike out of transition to the mountain line, go over the mountain line, then you can get on your bike. You go up the hill, turn left towards Governor's Bay on Governor's Bay Road. At Governor's Bay, you will turn left if you were doing the long course into Main Road, and then all the way towards the Wheatsheaf Tavern. You return on exactly the same course, making a couple of right-hand turns. For the novice, youth and junior course, the beginning of the ride is exactly the same as the open course. The only difference is the turnaround is just before the Dyer's Pass Road intersection. It is strongly encouraged that all youth and junior athletes do go and do a training ride on the course to ensure they have the appropriate gears and can ride on the course safely and confidently. Transition area will be in the upper car park at Corsair Bay. Please familiarise yourself with all the entry and exit points. We do always try to make the transition as fair as possible, so it doesn't really matter where you rack your bike. There will be one separate rack for youth athletes. Last but not least, the kids race. Due to the fact there is not really any safe riding around Corsair Bay for kids aged 5 to 9, it is a run-only event starting at the same beach as all other races. The children will run out along the track to a turnaround cone, come back towards their start point but not quite back as far as the beach, turn out for a second lap, proceed back to where they'd made the turn from, and then take the side track up through to the lower car park, proceed up to the top car park, and then turn left and run down the finishing chute. Just a reminder, this is the final race of the series, and there is 1.5 times the usual points associated with it. We will be doing a prize giving after this event. So thanks for listening. We hope this online briefing has been helpful. Please make sure that you say a word of thanks to any marshals out on the course there. They're volunteering their time to make sure that you can race, and it's an important part of our sport going forward that we have an active triathlon community where people are not only racing but also putting something back into the sport. So if you do want to volunteer at any other races, please get in touch. If you've got any other questions, email through and we'll reply, or otherwise we'll go through any questions on race day. There will be printed maps around the course at the registration table, so we look forward to seeing you at the race. All the best with your training.